So PhonePe has today announced a tie-up with Mashreq. Now, this is one of the largest banking platforms in the UAE. Why this is important is because now UPI payments will be available to all of PhonePe's users in the UAE. Joining me to discuss a bit more on this is Ritesh Pai. He is the Chief Executive Officer of International Payments for PhonePe. Tell us a bit more about this partnership, right? What sort of users are you targeting? What are still some requirements that users will have in terms of having an Indian bank account versus a UAE bank account? Tell us a bit more about this partnership.
Thank you, Rishabh, for having me. This is in line with taking UPI as a payments mechanism global. So India has been the pioneer in developing this UPI payment ecosystem, which is actually in true sense a very homegrown kind of a payments ecosystem that India has created. The whole idea now is while UPI has done real wonders as far as transaction processing is considered as in India in particular, the whole idea is now to ensure that this becomes an acceptable financial instrument in different geographies as well. So it is in this regard that we have got into a tie-up with Mashreq, the NeoPay arm, which is their payments processing arm. And this is all happening through the entire ecosystem that has been enabled by the National Payments Corporation of India. Idea is the existing set of PhonePe UPI app users can now transact at merchant locations whenever they travel to UAE. The idea is that you try to make this a financial instrument which has acceptance world over. Dubai being first, UAE being one of the first countries where we have started this arrangement. Idea is also to go very granular at a ground level, work with some of the large marquee merchants as well to drive the acceptance. So it will be a twofold approach that we will follow. One is, of course, educating the customer base in India, almost the 520 million app users that PhonePe has today. They are well versed with how to scan a QR and do the transactions in India. Idea is to now extrapolate that particular education and add more use cases, which will be the international payment use cases. And also create the on-ground merchant awareness, visibility, reach, and the education required to ensure that UPI also becomes a success, not only in India, while we have already seen the success in India. Idea is to also ensure that it reaches the same amount of success as far as international payments is concerned. Right now, it's like I said, right? It's the same way, the same app, which will have an Indian bank account linked to it. Just that the usage now will shift from the Indian merchants to international merchants.
Okay. Thanks, Ritesh, for that. Now, Ritesh, give us an idea of the scale of this, right? How big is Mashreq in the UAE? What sort of touch points does it have? What sort of POS devices do they have? And what exactly is a sort of a ballpark figure in terms of the availability of PhonePe via UPI in UAE now?
So from a PhonePe availability perspective, it is for the entire population that is using the PhonePe app. So for me, it's all the 520 million app users who can actually go and transact in UAE. As far as Mashreq is concerned, they are the third largest POS merchant aggregators in UAE. Close to around 60,000 plus terminals, and they have the Android POS devices, which can help generate a dynamic QR, which means the merchant using the same POS machine on which he ends up accepting the debit or credit card can initiate a transaction for UPI apps to be scanning that particular dynamic QR that will come on the POS machine, and the transaction will be executed. So typically, in this case, what will happen is the transaction currency will be AED, and the account currency which gets debited will be the INR, which is the Indian rupee.
Good. Got it, Ritesh. Thanks for that. Are you, like you said, UAE is one of the first steps to taking UPI to an international level, right? Are you planning something similar for other destinations that NPCI International is already working with? For example, France, Luxembourg, Nepal, Singapore, all these other destinations that are already in the works.
Sure. So the idea is, I mean, we consider it our moral responsibility from a proliferation of UPI is concerned, right? As far as proliferation of UPI is concerned, reason being, in India also when UPI as a payment ecosystem was launched, PhonePe was one of the front runners in achieving a large volume, both in terms of value and transactions. So we take it as our moral responsibility to be the flag bearers for the same activity that we need to carry out as far as international payments is concerned. To your point, we would be actually like literally tailgating NPCI in whichever geographies that they enable us. We will be one of the first ones to actually go and enable the customer usage. So to your point, we are also looking at activating Nepal, Singapore, Sri Lanka, Bhutan. I think there's Qatar, there is Thailand, uh, and then UK and France in the coming months. Hopefully, by H2 of this calendar year, we would be activating all these geographies.
Oh, excellent, excellent. That's great news, Ritesh. Lastly, before I let you go, I want to understand: what does this step mean for the larger phone pay operations in the UAE? What does it actually mean? You already have an established partnership with Mashreq now. Will you also target the first and second largest merchant POS offering platforms?
Sure. So, like I said, right, NPCI will play the role of an enabler, and we would be immediately following up. So, there are a couple of other partners also with whom NPCI is already engaging. And to your point, yes, they are the number one and number two in the UAE market. Uh, I think we are in the last leg of some of the technical handshakes that are required to be completed. But hopefully, by the first week of May, you should be seeing a similar announcement with the largest player in UAE as far as the POS deployment is concerned.